Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name is Eric Percival, or Scuffed Gaming, and welcome back to Inscryption Casey's Mod. Today we're going to be trying to tackle yet another challenge. Going to new run. We did not play the last run that we had here on recording. It was the Mantis God Double Worm opening. Let's just say, we found fecundity again, and we put it on a couple of choices along with mealworm, and things found a different way to infinite combo. But nevertheless, I do think that this deck can be a little bit of a trap, but we'll run it again just for fun. Got a couple of new spicy challenge ratings to take a look at right now. For example, we've got a couple of options to make things more difficult for ourselves. We've got a single candle that limits us to a single life for 30 challenge points. A single life is pretty sketchy because as Matt pointed out the last time we were here, it means probably we won't get the smoke during the boss fights either. And the boss fights are already pretty tough. So I'm thinking today what we're going to do is we're going to take the fish hook off the table. We're going to allow boss totems. We're going to ignore the boss rares. Let's see. This is getting a little sketchy for show. We'll make the fights a little bit harder. And perhaps all regular battles are replaced with totem battles. Yeah, why not? Why not? Now, there certainly is something to be said for just take away your extra choices, make the pelts more pricey, and give yourself a smaller backpack. Take away the hook for 20 points over here total. Give yourself back a 15-point, leeway, whether that's that the bosses won't have totems or that you can get your rares. Something to think about, or maybe, make the stronger opponents as all battles. It could be worth it to just, you know, clip a little bit of our smaller advantages and just play easier battles. And in fact, let's see what that looks like. Let's see what that looks like. We still have to fight all totem battles. We don't get rerolls, but this is 70 points of value. The strat that we had last time is we tried to immediately burn out one of our ringworms and unlock all the fires for the rest of the run. So our starting deck is 2 ringworms and a mantis god. And for those of you that don't know, if you burn out a ringworm in a fire, the rest of the fires become free for the rest of the run. We got a fire right away. That's exactly what we want to see. Morning Leshy, looking as beautiful as ever. Always another good day in paradise. Just another manic Monday. On a mealworm and a kingfisher, and we all know the kingfisher has the potential for OTK. Now, last time we did run out the mealworm and a one to play card. Infinisac. Always lots of potential. Always a lot of potential. We're already faced with a couple of daring options, because eventually we could ritual this morsel onto like cat, for example, and then let everything have whatever the cat stats are. But we're lacking a little bit in the beatdown department if we do it that way. So we'll play it straight for now. Let's go ahead and do what we were supposed to do. We have not food. Of course you don't. And a fist. Of course, as fate would have it. I have to sneeze. Oh God. Sorry about that, folks. Of course, as fate would have it, our ringworm would not die. No, we cannot block any of this that's coming in. Immediately punished. Yeah, there's no reason to play anything. good news is that Mantis God is just a strong card. And there's just simply no doubt about that. I am glad that a lot of these opening fights just consist of the opponent playing one line of creatures and testing your ability to answer that one line of creatures, but this Mantis God deck does have one obvious and very serious problem, which is that, you know, if you don't get to buff your Mantis God or get other good playable cards, things start to get really bad in a hurry. We'll take the Direwolf Pup. We're gonna try again. You can't keep getting away with it. So I stood around, decided I had to sell. Sure, we'll try to make the other one. Alright, so that one got burned out. So the rest of our fires we're going to be able to max out on whatever we so choose. And we get one of the quote-unquote bad cards out of our list. Actually, 1 for 1 on the right. We could just bank this ringworm. Very good, very cool. Very cool. Let's start serving in for some damage on this lane. Doesn't look like the opponent has another play. Go with this right lane. Oh, you think so? Direwolf going ham. Let's pick up another card. The card that we want is... Man, they really want to give me 2 to place, huh? Well, we don't really want another mealworm, so I guess we'll take the Ant Queen. For a point of damage. It's tough because we have some long-term goals of putting like the mealworm effect onto Mantis God, but it's the question of, do we just want to have the option of OTK early? I think we do. I understand that this feels a little bit silly for some people because you have to actually buff mealworm in order to sack it and get value, but this exact match right here is why you want this effect in your deck. You can sort of make your Mantis God the end-all be-all. 1. Okay. They're going to give us a pack rat, which we're not happy about. We should have probably planned ahead a little better. We get to ritual now. And I think what we want to do is we want to put this mealworm onto the ringworm. We would much prefer to have ringworm get sacked instead of mealworm. It takes an extra turn most of the time. Also nets a card out of the deck. We are looking for Warren also. Somewhere down the line that would be ideal. Fish, smoke. Turn 1 Mantis God, huh? You don't say. I do indeed. Bum, bum. Actually, we don't have to do that. We could just play it straight and get the win. I will not perish just yet. I will not, sir. A mole. It's Earl, another kingfisher. With some ideas of maybe splicing 2 kingfishers together into a 1-mana 2/2. I like it. Go a little taller. The relief of the fresh air quickly gave way to yeah. The snow line. The end of this area is the trapper. The card choice today is another wolf pup with some ideas of putting them together into a 2/2. So what do we want to do exactly? We could choose to put one of our kingfishers on the Mantis God, and now it is a flying submerged constant threat. And I do think that that is the play, even though our 1-mana slot is starting to get a little clogged. By constantly this 3/1 threat going off in the background. Submerged elks. Submerged elks. We could do better than a pair of pliers. But we are going to run out the dire wolf pup first. So as we know, over the long term, dire wolf deals a lot of damage. Kingfisher, nope. And there it is, folks. You'd love to see it. The game probably counted that as a misplay, but I don't care. 4 blood, or 2 kin, or 3 sigils. How many sigils across our list? A lot. And we do want to win this, I think, because we're a little bit lacking for top end. And some of these rares could be really good. And we win. Not that they're rares, they're just, decent cards. Oh, Raven. Bifurcated River Snapper, huh? It's interesting to put this Bone Digger Sigil on the Raven. I mean, come on, man. That River Snapper's a champ. Let's go, champ. Yeah, buddy. 2 more HP. As the kids say, we're doing it live. We're all in on this Mantis God. 3/5. Now it's a heavy OTK. Black Goat into Direwolf Pup again for the opening. We're about to take 3 in the air though. Or we could run out the Ant Queen first. I don't think so. I still think Direwolf Pup is correct. Okay. No need to panic. Unless we die. Do we die? No. Basic math, folks. It's already proven to be a difficulty here on the channel. That was another card. The next card is going to be bones. It's a bat. Maybe give us an outlet later. We've got one mycologist. I'm going to splice together a couple of cards. Probably 2 direwolf pups. Yep. Turn him into a little more of a serious threat. I think he wasn't a serious threat already, because he is, actually. Stinky Elks. And the crowd goes wild. OTK, 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 etc, etc, etc. Alright. Pick up another card. We're actually not super happy to have some of these cards in. Sure. It's gonna give us a duplicate. Our deck's getting a little bit too big for my tastes. Second Mantis God, second Queen. Yeah. Go to the ritual. We've got a lot of sigils we would be interested in getting rid of. How big is the deck right now? We can't check right now. No. Let's see what to do. We could put the Elder Sigil onto the God, but now we're starting to run into the issue that we had from before, where we have a lot of 2 costing things that come off the top later, and it's starting to get a little bit scary. So I think I want to just use Pack Rat to thin the deck. We could put Pack Rat on something else like Goat, probably is fine. Yeah. It's very tempting to use the Mantis God card to put Triple Strike on something else, but we don't have really any other stick that we would want to do that for. I've been hoping to get into to find a fire that we can put the Ringworm onto still, because it's literally sitting in our deck Mealworm. Okay. Unfortunately, our Mantis God is going to have to bite the dust in order to enable us to get through this first phase of the fight. We can't cheese it the same way we have in previous games where we could like where we could more or less like ensure that we can get another life on our Mantis God. It's the one guy. That's the one option that we have. So let's just do it. Let's just save ourselves the heartache. We'll be able to get ourselves some pelts. Actually, we could feed the smaller Mantis God to these things and get some pelts. Yeah, that's way better. Never mind, no we can't. I'm really bad at magic. Yeah, that's a horrible misplay. Thank you, sir. Elder Skink, Death Touch River Snapper. I think I'll take our Tentacle Boy, Skink, Kingfisher. One, two, three, four, five. That'll do it. It's not as fancy as I wanted it to be. I have to remember that when you kill a trap on this boss, that it immediately kills the creature. You don't get the chance to go across like a Gatling gun. Yeah. Some of the later stages, the ability to find your first turn kill is palpable. You definitely don't want to win this. Definitely not. Sigils, Kin, Power. I think Kin is our best bet, even though we do have 2 birds, an elk, 3 insects. I mean, I guess that's 1, 2, 3, 4 insects. It's going to be hard to lose this on purpose no matter what we do. Okay. We lucked out a little bit. I know some people might be wondering, like, well, why were you trying to lose? We don't need to add more cards to our deck. Okay. This is kind of what we wanted. We wanted to get more damage on the ringworm, so that down the line we have the option to sacrifice it to make one of our things even better, and it can fight on its own, of its own accord, if we draw it. Well, turn 1 regular Mantis God is not the worst thing I've ever seen. It is also not the best thing I've ever seen. Let's just pull the squirrel off the top. We can race him like this. Sure. This gives us a reason to go get items later also. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11? Sure. Let's go to trial. Oh boy. Well, we have lots of fat boys in our deck, so we could easily win the toughness. Sigils, we have a lot of sigils between our boys, so I guess we have to go with power and hope that our zeros flip over. Nope. Yeah, no. Alright, what are we cursed with now? Flying porcupine, huh? Made of stone wolf cub. You guys knew it was going to be the wolf cub. Some HP. What someone could do with some HP. Maybe just make our direwolf pup a 2/6? Maybe make the bat a 2/5? Can't believe I'm seriously considering putting the bat, making the bat stronger. Well, the Wolf Cub flips into a 3-2. Maybe it being a 3-5, 6 would be good. Yeah. I think that's better than almost anything else that we could do. Make it a decent. We have a fat boy deck. The question is, do we want to go to the fire, or do we want to put both of our Mantis God onto each other and make it a 1 mana 4/6? That might be better at this point. Help us thin the deck further. Alright, for the glory. One. Possibly one of our very worst hands. I think we lose. I think we absolutely lose here. We don't have any way to bail ourselves out. Yeah, we lose here. Oh lord. We didn't have any way to deal damage to the wolf on turn 1. We drew a lot of our 2-drops. This is exactly why having early plays is so important, and I think we're a little bit thin on early plays. Why we didn't even want to see Raven Egg. All right. Let's get these 2 Mantis Gods together, stuck in this. It could also be why we need a why we need to ritual another card out of our deck. We can't afford to lose totem battles like that right now. Oh my gosh, we're gonna lose. Yeah, I think we lost. Oh yeah, we lost. Yeah. We take 3, we put this in front of the coyote, we take another 4, and the game ends. Yeah, these 2-drops killed us. Ah, oh, what a shame. We were playing, our deck was so good, but we just didn't draw the Mantis 2 games back to back, and that could cost you. That could certainly cost you the game. Especially because we can't afford to take a hit off this creature. So this game is over. This round is over. All right, well, we definitely should have lost that other trial. We shouldn't have chosen Bones for that one Cornerstones, that one pickup, 11 misplays. It's kind of why this blood deck continues to be just the most solid and consistent deck, because you don't find yourself getting hamstrung by. You know what the sad thing is though, is that we never once saw our ringworm. You know, not one time did we see ringworm. The one that we actually purposefully put mealworm onto. So we'll do this again. We ran out of items also. Alright. The Warren. And the River Otter. They always say run it back, you know? Run it back. This is looking awful familiar. We really could have used a Warren in our last deck. We would have been able to play all of our 2 manas. We didn't even see the goat. It was just some of the worst hands you've ever seen. Field mice. Alright, well, they decided to gift us with quite an incredible card. As tempting as it is in this situation to just put the ringworm in there, I think we're gonna go right back to what we were doing before. OTK. You know, don't even hesitate. No, I think we're gonna go right for the totem. Let's see if we can't use this run as another way to break the totems. River Otter. River Otter? Flying, blocking kingfishers? Odd choice for show. And right now, in one of those other matches, we would have died already. And that's the scary part about those 3rd stage battles. And we certainly wouldn't have been able to win like this. I understand that our deck is not like that good right now, but the fact of the matter still stands that we would have been dead by far with our deck currently. We could ritual, but then we would get a pelt. And then we're worse than before. But the only difference is our field mice is out of the deck. You know what? I think it's worth it. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah. There's no way you could convince me to buy a rabbit pelt. We can't pass up this opportunity to make our Mantis God a perpetual. Game broke for a second there. Sure. Immediately punished. Now these ringworms are gonna start to be a problem if we can't get rid of them. Alpha, huh? Cockroach Sigil has served us very well in the past, and so I don't honestly see why we wouldn't do it. A point of damage. We could try to turn this ringworm dead. Or not. Or it could be a 1-mana 2/1. I'm gonna take the 2 HP and walk away. Hey, sometimes it doesn't work out, guys. Sometimes you try to kill your ringworms in the fire, and sometimes they refuse to die. And they instead become a 1-mana 0/5 and a 1-mana 2/1. Oh god. This deck is really bad also. Well, you know, we could play the ringworm just so that we could get the bones to play cockroach. Yeah, you want the ringworm? You can have him. We don't want him. Just kidding. The good news is that when you have power like this, you don't really have to try. When you've got power like what we're packing, at least for this first stage, you don't really have to try that hard. What card would you be giving us today, sir? Yeah, we already know that this is a mistake. I do think Mealworm is proper, but we didn't see it. We didn't see it during the last game. Ah, yes, the opportunity to delete a card from our deck. Yes, it is very important that we do that. It is very important that we do that. We have several cards we would like to get rid of, not the least of which is this 2/1 ringworm. And you may be asking yourself, why the 2/1 ringworm instead of the 0/5? The reason why is because the 0/5 we could put Warren onto, and it serves the same exact purpose to power up late game 2 drops, which we may even get right now because we do want to win this trial. 6 health, 5 bones, 3 sigils. 3 sigils is a long shot. 5 health, 6 health is not necessarily a long shot here. And bones is straight up unwinnable. 1, 2. Okay. Whew. We've got Field Mice Porcupine, probably by far the best card in this pack, except for maybe Tutor Bloodhound. But Field Mice Porcupine does kind of pay off of our Warren also. We will be happy to get rid of 2/1 Ringworm. Netting us a bone for our troubles. Do we have any doubles in our deck? No, we don't. They're going to give us a double. And we would take Warren, and we would take Mealworm. Yes, we would. We need to get this pelt out of here, too. Because it is really starting to stink up the place. Alright, Ringworm. You're gonna go do your job now of being a stick. River Otter, my boy. Welcome to the lineup. Rabbit Pelt goes here. River Otter goes here. Get rid of him. Take one. All right, and there you go. That Bone Lord bone actually did something. Allowed us to play cockroach on curve. I'll be darned. I literally have one Peltzer. And it is going to give us a 1-drop. That 1-drop is going to be Elk Fawn, because Elk Fawn is pretty good. Another fire coming up. Alright, what double are you going to give us? We will take Mantis God. We will take Porcupine. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Mealworm Porcupine. Alright. The wall deck I always wanted. I mean, you can't break through this. This is just a line of porcupines. Bad against flyers though. Just a line of porcupines. Oh yeah. We could win like this. We might even want to buff the porcupine, the original porcupine card, because wow. Of these two, blood is the most okay. He's come back to everybody. He's come back for 2 more HP. Who gets the 2 more HP? Actually, if we ever get to Ecologist again, we could just put the 2 porcupines together. We need someone else to start playing a little bit harder for the team. Maybe the Elk Fawn? Maybe the... yeah... I mean, there's always still the option of just trying to burn out the ringworm. He's dead on our team right now. He's at 05. Man, this is super tough. I really don't want to make him an 09 that just sits there. But it's not the end of the world to do that. Yeah, you know what. Big misplaced city. Okay, yeah, get out of here. And we could either go up and left to Ecologists and put these 2 porcupines together. Or we could go up right, get a ritual End of Fire. We could put the ritual onto something finally. Like we could put Mealworm onto the Warren. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. That sounds pretty good. Or we could put Undying onto the Warren, and then we have Infinite Blood. Then we could play out Mantis Guy. I mean, that's the obvious choice, right? Yeah. then we could play out any one of our perpetuals. Yeah. I know. Yeah, these fights start to get really tough in a hurry, don't they? Like, we are bad against flying. Yeah, we are exceptionally bad against flying. Yeah, we just have to pray that we draw a good card. That was not a good card. All right. Mantis God or lose. Oh, man. Okay, well, I mean, I guess technically it's not over. You know, technically we're still in it. Because we're able to sort of fight back. Kind of. Just kidding. They have infinite flyers. We pulled our tooth out for nothing. Those flying battles really are vexing. Like, if you don't get out to a running start, it's really bad for you. Wolf Cub, maybe? Oh, Coyote, even worse. Yeah, we really didn't want that. Alright, well, let's continue to thin the deck. Let's get some of these things out of here. We're going to do what we said. We're going to put Garbage onto Warren. As long as we can get through the Prospector fight, we're going to be okay. 2 damage. 2 damage gets added to something. Who is going to benefit from the 2 damage? Maybe the River Otter. I know it might seem a little bit crazy because we might be going a little bit more thin. No, maybe the Mealworm. And maybe we just leave Mealworm as it is. Yeah, you know what? Let's try to make him reasonable. Boss battle, no smoke. Canines have mole. It's happening again where the game has been choosing, okay, thank you, has been choosing not to give us our thing. But now they did, so we can get out of this. He's gonna gold our team. That's okay, we can gold our team. Yeah, this is always the trade-off. Like, if you draw the combo, right? Or not the combo, but if you draw the stick, you could just kill the other person. And we have a lot of good things in the deck. That's why it's been so strange. Some of these fights were like, oh, this is just straight up unwinnable. A direwolf, a raven, a corpse maggots. Oh man. So many good choices. We don't really like any of these choices because we're already starting to fill the deck 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 with a lot of problems. We're having a lot of problems right now. Yeah, we do have Warren, so we could feasibly play like a two to play something. We could take the direwolf with ideas of putting double strike onto something else, even though it's another dead draw. Snow-covered trees jetted from the landscape through the snow line. Okay. This is brutal because this space right here does get rid of a card, but then only to get a pelt later. But then later also ritual. We do need to get rid of another card. Getting rid of another card allows us to open with Mealworm if it happens to be a draw. Wolverine, a Grizzly. When a card bearing the sigil attacks and it perishes, this card gains a power. Kingfisher kind of screwed us last time because it wasn't able to deal damage to the thing opposing us, so I guess it's Wolverine. And we'll delete the Coyote from our deck. We just don't want the Coyote in our deck. Everything else is better. And like everything else is better. I've noticed also that when you get pelts in this game, the pelts tend to take it, like they tend to show up a lot. Okay, so this is the way we drew it up. Porcupine at 3/4. Play this. Porcupine here. We continue the train. Draw, sack, direwolf, porcupine, and kill the opponent. Alright, give us our stupid pelt. My pelts are the finest. You have 20? Oh yeah, for sure. In fact, we'll live large. We'll take a gold pelt. Thank you. Thank you for that. We're gonna go turn them in immediately because we hate them. Double strike, or we could put Wolverine. The Wolverine sigil onto someone. A river otter, maybe. You know what? Let's put the direwolf sigil on someone. Man, this is really bad. We don't have any good options. Like we don't want to put it onto Mealworm. We don't want to put it onto itself. We don't want to put it on a vanilla porcupine. We could put it onto the Wolverine. But then is it better or worse to put it onto Wolverine or to put the Wolverine sigil onto someone else, like the River Otter? Which just gets bigger and bigger. Does it only add a power? Gains a power. Because we could reasonably power out this direwolf. We could reasonably power out either one. I gotta say, 1/3 for 5 bones is not great. And bones can be a little bit harder to come by. Yeah, so let's go ahead and let's put this onto the otter. The otter's not doing anything else. It's literally just sitting there, twiddling his thumbs. Gee, I sure hope I'm gonna be a good card one day. No. Oh, this is the fight that killed us last time. And wouldn't you know it, one of our worst possible hands. Oh, man. Oh boy. Well, we could certainly turn to Direwolf and try to race. Do we just get into point of damage now? We're gonna gold belt over here. That Raven Egg is never coming into play. Okay, so this turn, 4 damage is coming in. And that's it, right? I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way I could hold on to the squirrel bottle. Because I don't want to have to use it. And that's the truth. If I could just tie up this lane and start dealing 4 for 2, that would be ideal. So I think I'm gonna wait. If it costs me the life, at least I learned something today. Okay. Let's find out. Let's find out what happens. I'm not sure that that actually helps us. No. No, I don't think it does. Let's see, they would take 2, and then we would lose 3. Okay, I think we're okay still. God, no other game has made me feel like just so dumb. Than this game. This game has this uncanny tendency to be like, oh, you can't count. Okay. Like, yeah, I can't count. Okay. Let's get these pelts out of here. Yeah, that's very funny. Skink it is. Wow. That's some really good choices here, friend. Child 13 has served us well. Two more points of health. 2 more points of health goes on someone. But who? Technically 4 more points of health. We could make the porcupine harder to kill. I know we're neglecting some of our other ladies and gentlemen behind the scenes. It doesn't really make sense to buff the Warren because the Warren is gonna get sacked. Yeah, you know what? We're here. We're here and we're doing it. I think our deck is 12 cards. 11 again. All right. Every fight is another mystery. Alright, we got the Warren and the Wolverine Otter. Need to get rid of this Alpha. Okay. We're going to play Child 13 here. We're going to play the Warren. We're going to sack the Warren for the Otter. And then we're going to... Yeah. Play this. Play this. Play this. I think we're dead. Yeah. There was not a whole lot we could do differently. Some of these late stage matches have been just unwinnable for us. We don't have any doubles, and we're not interested in gaining doubles. Yeah. I think we're gonna try to trim the deck further so that we can win this fight without losing a life. The Pronghorn gives double strike, or not double strike, but bifurcated. And then let's just try to get some cards out, I guess. We haven't been drawing our Mantis God almost at all. It's been really something. The first order of business is we have to get this Direwolf out of here. If we draw it, it's just curtains. It's just curtains. Putting it on the Alkfon is the best bet. So it'll flip into a 2/4 with double strike. And we'll put Infinisac on the Mealworm. Maybe now our deck is good enough? No, 10 cards. 10 cards. 10 cards and we have reasonable game against almost anybody. It feels strangely weak today. I haven't had my espresso, maybe that's why. You're just not thinking clearly. Yeah, these hands have been just awful. Just had some of the most just atrocious hands. Really. Okay. I mean, we've been waiting for you, my boy. And I appreciate your showing up. Thank you for coming. It's been nice. It's been nice having you here, sir. I have no idea where you've been this whole time. Yeah, but we're always happy. We're always glad you came. Where everybody knows your name, and they're always glad you came. Yeah, wow. 2 whole pelts, don't hurt yourself there. Yep. I don't think it matters what we pick. We ripped the front 2 off the front line. Well, you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? You wouldn't know anything about how much I love using Mantis God to kill everybody all the time. You wouldn't know anything about that. That's one of the worst openings we got, except until we draw Mantis God. Alright, which card are you going to sully our deck with today? Pronghorn number 2. Yeah. And here we are. Do we dare ritual onto something else? I think we have to. This dire wolf pup has got to go, man. I love him to death. He's really cool. But we just never got to buff him. And playing a 2-mana 1/1 is just has been perpetually bad. We could put Elder and Bone Digger onto like Skink or onto Pronghorn. But Skink sounds funnier, so I'm gonna do it. The Skink is likely to survive at least a hit, and so that's why I did it. There is an argument to be made for, well, why didn't we just get an item? The reason I did this is because I want to maximize the chances of us just drawing Mantis God and not having to play this match against Boss Leshy. That's the idea of the deck, is just to not have to worry about it. This is not the good porcupine, by the way. This is the regular one. Alright, Smoke, you're up, bud. Bifurcated Alkfon, welcome to the team. Elk's gonna kill the Mole Man and then nothing. This opening was terrible. I mean, our deck is, I swear, our deck is not supposed to be bad like this. Yeah, I mean, this is something else. game does not want to let me get a win today. We may just die. Yeah. Yeah, we died. Yeah, we didn't draw it. Well, I'm gonna give this another go later, but it just goes to show not every match is gonna be a win, and we got all the way to the end just for us to draw multiple bad cards in a row, back to back to back to back, out of our 9 card deck, and there was not a lot we could do. We literally just didn't see any of the amazing cards that we put together. We saw our Warren, which we could have certainly used on turn 1, but that's just the way it goes with random games sometimes, and it's more to the same cadence that I said before, which is you really going into the late game, you do not want to draw any of your bad cards. You should not have any bad cards in your deck if you can avoid it, but the game does make you have to have extra cards. So hopefully this was instructive, even if it resulted in our loss. It just didn't feel like there was a lot we could do. So thank you so much for watching. I'll give this another go later, and hope you have a great day. So long.